I mean, it's not really news because it was pretty obvious from the thumbnail, but if you didn't guess it, which you really should have, we've got a baby on the way, which means we need to make this room into a nursery. So this is the bedroom that we're going to be turning into a nursery. This room is currently just a bit of a storage room. We've got camera gear and spare bags and stuff stored in there. Various bits and pieces up there. And then stack and store boxes in that corner, just storing a few bits. And then we just use this for storing bits as and when. It's also our dog Boss's bedroom. So he's got a dog bed down here that I made a while ago out of scaffolding boards. So I'll have to find a new space for that to go, because unfortunately he's going to get kicked out and this is obviously going to be the nursery. It's going to be completely transformed, this room. The pallet wood feature wall that we did, that's all going to get taken off, and I'm going to redo a different feature wall using some plywood. So that wraps round, so it'll all get taken off. The plan is for this to be like a dark wall. So the alcoves, they're going to be painted black. The feature wall is going to be black with wooden features on it. Going to have a name sign up here of the baby's name. And then I think we're just going to paint everything white. And then we're going to do black skirting boards and architraves. I'm going to put a new door on this door because I don't like this door. It's just one of the standard plain ones, but all the rest of the doors in the house are original Victorian. Now I obviously can't get, or I'm very unlikely to find, a Victorian door to match, but I'll probably use I think they're called cottage doors, that we've used on the sliding doors in the kitchen and the downstairs toilet, that door as well, because we obviously added a door to there. And yeah, so we've got a bit of the cot here because I'm just sort of trying to work out space. We're not sure whether the cot's going to go in front of here or whether it's going to go in that corner. That obviously doesn't matter too much yet, because we can obviously decide that at a later date once everything's done in here. We've got new flooring to put down. So this is the flooring that we've bought. This flooring that's down in this room currently, this was the flooring that was in our bedroom when we moved in, and rather than buying a new floor to go in here, we just put it in here because it just saved a bit of money, and this room obviously wasn't really getting used for particularly anything, so we just thought rather than buying floor, we just use the one that we already had. Like I say, I'm going to redo all the skirting boards. The skirting boards are wooden in here. There's actually a piece loose down here. That piece is like slotted in front of the radiator cover we've got. So these are the wood from the skirting boards, and this was actually our old garden gate that we upcycled into skirting boards. But I'm going to be taking all these off, keeping these, and then I'm going to be reusing these for a few different projects. Hello mate, come lie down, go on in bed. Good lad. So all that'll get reused. All of this pallet wood will get saved and reused. This is just glued on, so it should, I think this piece is loose. It's a loose piece, that piece is loose. It's just been sort of like tack glued on. So that'll either pick off the back or sand down. So that'll all come off. I'll not do that yet. But the first job that we're going to be doing, which was the plan anyway, whether or not this was becoming a nursery or staying just this room, is basically we've got a sloping ceiling up to this beam here and then a flat ceiling. Now this sloping ceiling has been insulated and re-plasterboarded when I did out this room. So this has a 25mm of Kingspan insulation on and is fairly nice and warm currently. This is just the original lath and plaster ceiling, and basically the roof continues to slope up further, so there's only about that, it's sort of like that, if you know what I mean. So there's hardly any insulation in there, and I don't actually think this side is even insulated at all, and this side has just a little bit shoved down. So this side gets really cold, and it's meant the paint's peeled off up there. We've had a little bit of a mold issue there, and we thought the roof was leaking here around the chimney, but it turns out it's actually just condensation from a particularly cold patch. So that wall was insulated because this room was freezing. That wall was insulated, this has been insulated. So I'm now going to insulate this with some, because we've got a little bit more height, some 50mm PIR Kingspan type insulation. And then obviously I'll plasterboard that because this room and the bathroom get really cold. So yeah, the insulation is going to be the first thing to do. I'm going to finish off this video by ripping everything out and basically getting ready to put the insulation in the next one. So I'll rip out this wall, I'll rip off the skirting boards, and that's probably it for now. I'll probably dismantle this cupboard because this cupboard is basically just a piece of CLS screwed to the wall with the door on it, and then this is just a base that's just loose on the top. So I'll probably do something with that and possibly take some of that out just so I've got more space to get into there. So I'll rip this out, get that done, and then yeah, in the next video we'll start on the rest of the jobs. So I'm going to be doing the ripping out and planning on this one, insulating in the next one, doing the plasterboarding and the filling on the ceilings, painting and decorating, making shelves for the wall, making new skirting boards and fitting them, doing the plywood feature wall. We got some free drawers, off Facebook Marketplace that I'm going to be doing an upcycle project on and making a changing table out of that. We're upcycling some lamps that I've got, hopefully doing a video making the name sign, doing the flooring, and we're going to put underfloor heating in here, upcycling a cot, putting on the new door, and then I think I'm going to do some maybe plywood shelves in that corner. I'm not 100% sure because it's in sort of an annoying little gap there. So let's get cracking with the ripping out, get that done, and then like I say, in the next episode I'm going to be insulating the ceiling, but I'm also going to be insulating the full width of the house because the bathroom is the same situation. This sloping part is insulated, so nice and warm, but the flat part, which is above the shower, that's not insulated. So we have a few slight mold issues in there, and also the moisture in there is a bit of a nightmare because it's really cold in there, so everything obviously condenses. Same with the hall, which is none of that's been insulated, so that's going to get insulated, and then hopefully we should be able to see quite a big difference on that. So I'll get cracking, and then make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss all of the future projects that we've got planned in here, and all of the other stuff that I've either already got filmed ready to go or planned out ready to film for the channel. So first thing to do, like I said, is just get all this timber stripped. I'm going to take all of this off, which I'll probably just pull off because it's just dot and dab sort of stuck on with adhesive. But I'm going to keep all of these planks in here for now because this is a bit of a messy room for now. I'm going to keep it all in here. Then I'm going to make a few different projects with them, and same with the skirting boards. Some of these little tiny bits will probably just become firewood, to be honest. but there's actually some pretty nice boards. And they've been in here a long time, so they're obviously nice and dry. You can see behind here this plasterboard's a bit of a mess because it just got sort of semi-filled to where obviously roughly flatten it out, but it's not the nicest. But we're going to be putting a sheet of plywood on there over the top, so that'll even it out, and I'm going to foam that on anyway, so that'll make that nice and solid. This wall isn't insulated, but it's going to have, I don't know how thick these plasterboards are, but it'll have a plasterboard and a 9mm plywood sheet on it, then 9mm plywood strips going down. So it's not a full external wall in terms of it doesn't get obviously the weather to it, but it's obviously a chimney cavity. So it's not warm, but it's not, it's actually no colder than the internal wall there. You can see how strong that adhesive is, because most of them it's popping just the paper off, but some of it is literally taking lumps of plasterboard off. So like I say, it doesn't actually matter, but it proves how strong it is. So if you're doing panelling and wondering whether just adhesive is strong enough, all of our panelling is just adhesive and we've never had any issues with it. A little idea. This is in the shape of where it obviously needs to be. So I'm gonna mark these boards up, and I can use these boards as a bit of a template to get me started for obviously cutting in the plywood and slotting it in. Because if not, it's going to take a lot of measurements and scribing and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna just mark these like this. I don't need that one, but and then I'll also take a photo of what that looks like, because that is a very handy thing. In fact, I'm even going to add that to one of the videos I've got planned. A little tips and tricks thing. Basically take photos of things for future reference, because it'll make putting these back together a bit easier for me. So I'll crack on getting the rest of these stripped now. If anyone's got any ideas for projects to do with this leftover pallet wood, if there's anything you want to see, whack it down in the comments and I'll look at doing your suggestion. Pulled the angle beam off the corner itself. Dear me. Oh. This has been put on with expanding foam because there's a little void underneath the plasterboard. So it's mega strong. There we go. You can see that's literally pulled the old plaster off the wall. Expanding foam is so strong. I'm just going to have to stack it in this corner. This can be firewood because I'm not going to do anything with little tiny bits like that. So thanks as always for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos, and I'll see you in the next one.